So today I've been, well, I'm meal prepping, and one of the things that I'm doing for myself is making up good meal parts that I can grab and go so that I'm not grabbing the wrong thing. Now, one of the things that I did, apparently it's illegal. One of the things I did was I made a massive pot of TVP savoury mince base. Okay, it was a tomato based one rather than a gravy based one. I've kept 2 portions, normal, just plain as they are, which is this in these little bags. So I'm just putting, that's got 2 portions in that there. In another bowl which had enough for 6 portions, I added some ras al hanout, so I could do like a Middle Eastern kind of style flavored something, so something a little bit different. See, this one here I could use with like pasta if I wanted to, or you know, on a jacket potato or whatever, you know. And in this one I put some fajita seeds in. So yeah, what I did was I added the chili beans that I did the other day, 1 jar of it, that was it. I had the equivalent of 300 mils of dried TVP, which I added to a 500 ml jar of bone broth that I'd done. So it's not technically vegetarian, but if you wanted it to be, it could be. You know, all you have to do is use veggie stock. And then I made, I'm gonna have to bring you with me, give me a sec. This very small pot of mixed grains. So this is how I get my grains to be a little bit more protein dense, but a lot less quick carb. They've got a lot more resistant carbs in them, resistant starches, by doing it this way. And the more expensive grains I don't have to use as much of, because I'm using a lot of different ones together. Now this morning I changed things up a bit, and I grabbed one of these protein wraps and I put a bit of the grains and I put a little bit of the fajita mix in. I'm not huge on like Tex-Mex kind of food. I'm not big on that at all. We don't live that close to the US, so it's not a normal thing for us. And finding the really good ingredients, which is quite important to me as a chef or a cook, is really difficult, really expensive. So I tend to make up my own spice blends. I tend to make up my own stuff, or if I am going to buy a packet, it's got to be under £1. It's got to be under £1. I'm not going to spend more than £1 on a small packet of sauce mix. It's ridiculous. So what I did do this morning, like I said, I made a wrap, which I think some people would call a burrito. It's not as big as the ones that I've seen. It's not, but I'll show you what I did anywho, because we'll do it now together. Now, this is very basic, so don't expect a lot from it. And I'm only feeding me. It's not like I'm feeding a customer at a restaurant or anything, so, you know, it's just for me. I'm gonna get 1, 2 of those. Now, if I was making these to eat right now, I would probably add a bit of salad to that, some lettuce, tomato, cucumber, maybe some peppers if I had them, and maybe even a little bit of cheese, but I don't, and these are for the freezer. So that's being wrapped up there. And we're gonna just wrap this up nicely. So then all I have to do, because we're some of these freaky people that don't have things like microwaves and air fryers and stuff like that, stick that in the oven for like 10 minutes. I'll bring it out the night before I want it, and it'll be ready to go. So it's simple. Yeah, I'm gonna probably make a few of those, as many as I have wraps, or these kinds of wraps for. I'm not a vegetarian by any means, but I do have a massive jar of TVP that I can use, which means that I don't have to pay for extra stuff. So I would rather use that at the moment and not have to pay for extra things like shocking prices of mince and stuff like that. So we're just gonna do it this way at the moment. So yeah, so I'm gonna make a whole heap of those, get all of that done, and we'll see what we've got left that I can do something else with. I don't know, who knows. So out of that TVP mince, we've got 5 of these little baggies. One's of the taco mix, 3 of the ras whole nut, and 1 of the normal. So that's 10 serves plus 5 of the wraps. That's not bad. Not bad. But it leaves this, and I've hardly touched it. So stand by for part 2, I guess.